Welcome back to Cheche, the program where opinion counts. Our guest today, Chief Justice Willy Mutunga, heads the third arm of government, the judiciary, which over the past year has found itself embroiled in a number of controversies, ranging from the composition of the Judicial Service Commission to the public meltdown surrounding the sacking of its former chief registrar and corruption, because you did tell us before the break that the judiciary remains corrupt. And so let's pick up on that theme, because if it is still corrupt, what are you doing about the corruption?
Well, there have been, various initiatives since I came into the judiciary. You're familiar with the vetting board. The vetting board was about that as well. It's looking into the competencies, the integrity of judges who are serving and magistrates who are serving on the 27th of August 2010. And that's still going on, right? It's not complete now. They're dealing with issues of the magistrates. The recruitment itself by the JSC was very also robust in terms of looking at integrity issues for people coming into the into the judiciary. We looked at reports from the Anti-Corruption Commission, reports from the University Higher Loans Board, the Law Society. The ordinary people commented on the integrity of people who were actually coming in. We, through the technology, we tried as much as possible in terms of collecting the money that was paid to the judiciary to move it from the physical receipts, which could be forged, to getting the banks to come in and collect the money, and we saved a lot of money that way. We looked into issues of missing files, which was also part of the corruption now within the registries and so forth, and we're still going on with that. We kicked brokers out of the corridors of all our courts because there were busybodies all over the place drafting documents for litigants and so forth. We kicked them out, and we took seriously any complaints about integrity. That's why we formed the Office of the Judiciary Ombudsperson, where members of public would report to that office and also to JSC about corruption.
But we saw a drunkard prosecutor on Citizen Television News within the past week. How does that happen? And how does this person survive so long in the cracks?
Well, we should ask the DPP, because prosecutors are part of the DPP's office. So I don't know, I haven't followed that case. I would imagine that we are also liable if whoever was the magistrate in that station should have reported that guy long time ago. But I was going to say on the issue of corruption, what was I going to say? Yeah, your question.
What was the response? What is the response about that public reporting? Are you getting?
Oh yeah, yeah. Thanks. I was going to say that you can't imagine how many disciplinary cases are handled by the judicial commission, the judiciary JSC. Many
How
of
many?
them. I don't have the figures, but I would imagine every month they deal with probably tens of those disciplinary cases, where the ordinary people report and they come and testify. So that is being done within the administrative arm, in terms of procurement, tenders, and so forth. That's a lot being done as well. And that one I don't want to go into it because it's also tied up in courts and the audits that are taking place in the in the judiciary. And all those activities activities, you know, against corruption as we see them. And we face the, you know, the issues of cartels like everybody else in this country. You destroy some, others are being built. We are now building a capacity, as I said, within the judiciary, the JSC, a capacity to be able to carry out our own investigations. The moment we get information that a particular magistrate is corrupt or a particular clerk is corrupt, then we can do our own sting operations and create that capacity as an institution, because relying on other institutions has become problematic.
Clearly, because this takes us back to the separation of powers.
Yeah.
And so you were complaining about the budget being slashed. You told us before the break that you feel that it might have originated from internal processes. Given that this has been receiving wide coverage in the media, take us through the process. Did you say that you would be unable to absorb the £500 million shillings?
I believe that the Director of Finance and who dealt with these matters when they were doing the supplementary budgets, you know, dealt with, you know, with those issues, because the issues of absorption, you know, are unacceptable if you know that the public is going to lose money in a particular deal. You know, like the court, that court in Lodwar, 816 million, when the World Bank assessment is 300 million. So we had to stop it.
All right, let me bring you back to the question, because we're hearing, you've been quoted as complaining that if the £500 million shillings allocation for new buildings is cut, then access to justice will be compromised for the public. And so my question to you is, were you expecting that that 500 million shillings would be slashed, would be reallocated?
Because if you're talking the way I understand it, the 500 million is within the current budget.
Yes. Okay,
it's within the current budget, and is being it's being taken because there is already an investigation, you know, around it. My position is that's not wrong. Okay.
Okay, but you are quoted as having said that the money is going to compromise service delivery.
Yeah, but this is an issue is broader than people know. The issue of the judiciary fund. Okay, right. Because if the judiciary fund was there, that money will stay there until you construct the buildings and so forth. But the way I understand it is that if money is not spent within a particular period, it goes back. You know, the Treasury takes it back. We don't have that independence as yet.
Okay.
So it goes back. And what I was saying is that this argument about absorption should be seen in the context of us finding certain projects that were overpriced, okay? And they are being investigated, and there are audits going on, okay? And there is nothing we can do about absorption.
Okay. So when the chair of the House Justice and Legal Affairs team is quoted as saying that the judiciary was invited to make a submission concerning this money, and the judiciary declined, saying it didn't want to have anything to do with Parliament, that's wrong?
I don't remember that. Which MP is that? Because we go to Mutaba Musimi, he's the one who is chair of the budget committee, and that's where we normally take our budgets.
Right.
So who is the other one you're talking
about? He's the chair of the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee, and so.
Oh, but he basically called us, I think, over issues of the 6, you know, commissioners, and we sent a lawyer. He was thrown out, and then the cases went to court.
So you had nothing to do with the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee when it comes to your budget?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
And you didn't tell the National Assembly that you were unlikely to use the 500 million shillings?
That I have to find out from the director of
Finance.
Finance. But what I know, and I'm not a finance person, what I know is that there are certain monies that couldn't be spent because we would have led ourselves into the arms of cartels in particular projects, and they are being investigated and they are being audited. And so that construction can go on. And if the Treasury, the National Treasury, basically says if you can't go on now, this money goes to somebody else, why should the judiciary stop?
Because of that corruption, of that one I've said, overpricing, procurement. We haven't seen hands rolling in the judiciary. We have not had, except Cheche, no other person is affected.
Well, I think the director of finance is in court. The investigations are still going on. What I can basically say is that if people in the judiciary are found to have been corrupt, heads will roll. But if investigations are going on now, how can heads roll? Yeah.
To what extent does the gap, when you had the vacancy for a chief registrar, who's supposed to be the judiciary's chief accounting officer, to what extent has it aided or undermined the corruption that you say is so widespread in the judiciary?
Well, there was an acting CRJ, during that particular period. All I know is that there were various investigations